If you out there and you live, this is a pop-up. Check on your boy. Check with me. Check with me. Check with me. Know what we doing. Probably won't have a lot of views. We late. Things is going crazy. As you can see, the bucket hats is in. As you can see, the fan shirts is in. 860 uniforms arrive tomorrow. We will be distributing uniforms on Monday for 860. On Monday for 860. Uniforms will be distributed Monday for 860. You heard me? Uniforms will be distributed Monday for 860. Give me a second. Let me go on my sharing binge. Oh, can't do it here. My phone is dead. I'm all out of whack. But we're going to get it together, fellas, ladies, and gentlemen. Oh, man. Things not working. Here we go. Share the pages. That's not what I want to do. Let's share the groups. What up, everybody? If you out there tapping in, I'm saying what's up. See how you doing. This is a pop-up podcast. Y'all know how we doing it. This is a pop-up podcast, and you know how we doing it tonight. And this is a pop-up podcast. We got a couple things that we're gonna talk about. I don't know if the co-host is gonna be joining or not. Behind me, that's the Connecticut Youth All-Star game. I think that might have been the first year. People didn't know, but this first year, those green uniforms were Joker. And the black uniforms that say CT All-Stars on it, the black uniforms was actually Black Panther. But that's before we dove deep into the theme. Nobody really knew that back then. Nobody really knew that back then. And so it's your boy PH the Prez, Mr. Above 140. We are here. We are back. We are live. I may be dolo tonight, but I still got some good things to talk about. Stu Leonard's, my favorite spot. Banging cookies, y'all. Check it out. For Father's Day, they had lobsters on sale for $7.99. Still on sale today. I stopped on the way back and got them. What's good, player? What's good with you, man? Chillin'. The order you put in is almost here, my brother. You know what I'm talking about. The customized order you put in is almost here. Shout out to everybody watching. So there's a couple things I want to discuss. Probably not going to hold y'all up all night. Gike, what up, Gike? Yo, July 4th weekend, Gike. I'm going to have probably a pool party or something. So, July 4th weekend, man. Probably be doing something on July 4th weekend. Invitation only. So, if you're watching, you don't just get to pop up. Anyway, it's your boy PH the Prez, Mr. Above 140, and let's get into it.
I met a boy today.
That's me.
So fine.
If you know, tap in, share the post. It's your boy PH, aka the Prez, aka Mr. Above 140.
Come to my town and get with me. She love I'm around.
It's not about the amount of talent you have. It's 100% about the work ethic. Ask your coach or anybody that's been doing this.
I met a boy today. So fine.
Why is it? And they gonna say, oh, yeah, that's illegal. Cut this. Cut it out. All you coaches out there, cut it out. Because that's BS.
Guys,
It's your boy PH the Prez, Mr. Above 140. I want to thank y'all for tuning in. It's a pop-up. I know we were supposed to be on Wednesday at 9. Too much was going on. It was a holiday. It was late. People was over here. We was eating, having a good time. And, crossed our mind. Said tonight at 9, even tonight was a little late. Either way, I want to talk to you about something. So
I hear
something I want to play. Because in youth football, we talk all the time about it's dirty and people doing dirty stuff trying to pay players, right? We talk about that all the time. And I know, we're real uppity in youth football when we don't think that stuff should take place. I'm going to show y'all something. I want y'all to see this, and then we'll talk about it on the other side. Let's see what y'all think, because I think in youth baseball, it may actually be happening. And so I want to talk to y'all on the other side about my thoughts and what I think possibly could happen or maybe should happen at youth football level. Let's do this.
I hear of guys bringing in guest players, these kids that are really, really good. Hey, they don't have a tournament this weekend, and paying that kid's way to get him to come play for that team at an amateur level. The family is getting their plane tickets bought, the hotels are being paid for, and they're not paying anything to come be a part of this tournament. I even heard something that one of the fathers wanted walk-around money, and they gave it to him. As a parent, if I'm on that team and I just see this kid show up that I've never seen before, and it's like, oh, yeah, by the way, this kid's going to come in, he's going to pitch, and then he's going to play short, and then he's going to bat third. And your son's playing time that you've paid this money to be on this team, his playing time is going to be diminished because little do you know, we just paid for this kid to be here and play. No wonder kids don't want to play. I hear.
All right. So let's discuss that right there. So basically what's happening is you got an all-star baseball team. They're going out to play a tournament. I know a lot of people going to like Ohio this up and coming week or a couple weeks. And so you got this situation where kids are coming. And you want to be good. In the youth football world, we think that is wrong. Laser, what up, Laser? What's good, brother? In the youth football world, we think that is wrong to pay people. We don't think that it should happen. We think that it's dirty. We think that it's bad character on the program, the coach. At least that's how we make it seem. In the baseball world, they're saying, you know what, Laser? Your son is good. Here's what I'm going to do. I want your son to come with me to this tournament that I'm playing in Atlantic City. You don't have to pay no money. You don't have to pay any money. Hold on, I'm sorry. You don't have to pay no money. You don't have to pay for your flight. I'm going to book your room. I'm going to do all that stuff for you. And on top of taking care of all that, I'm going to give you $100 for the weekend. Make sure you can eat well. You need pocket change. You may want to buy a t-shirt at the event. You may want to do all that. So now, speaking of that, what's wrong with that process? If I'm the old, I don't want to use programs because people get emotional. If I'm a program in Connecticut and I'm going to an Allstar in Atlantic City, it passed, so I'll use that. And I want to grab this kid that's really, really talented, and I want him to play for me. What is wrong with me paying for that kid to play? Why do you care? Or is it that you only care because your child may get less time? Would you care if your child got the same amount of time if you paid and that kid didn't have to pay because that kid's better? I mean, don't we do that at all aspects of life? People with more talent, people that have an ability to make things rise. They have a tendency to have things given to them. You know, rich people usually don't pay for all the expensive clothes. Broke people do. You know, when you see these superstars wearing Prada, Gucci, and all of that, they wear it so your broke self go buy it. They don't wear it because they're paying for it. No, they give it to them. Here you go, Beyonce. Here you go, Jay. Here you go, you know, whomever. Y'all rock it because those broke people going to watch you and follow you. And look, I'm broke, y'all broke. I'm just saying we ain't filthy rich, so we broke. I'm putting us all in the same pot. This is not a knock on anybody that rock any designer clothes. All I'm saying is, at most aspects of life, people with talent are taken care of more than those that are seen to not have talent. Right? That's what we do. That's what they do. Restaurant people usually don't charge rich, famous people. Just by them eating there is going to bring them business. And so I would like to know, would it be that bad? The bus, Jakari. Oh, yeah, he's talking about Jakari. Jakari is like Bo Jackson. Yeah, I mean, he might look better than Bo Jackson in the youth football world, to be honest with you. But anyway, speaking of that, I just want to know if you guys think that paying players is bad. Let's see what they say. Speaking of Ohio, I'm trying to get that smoke with Tito CT 14U before we leave, but I think he ducking smoke. What 14U team you talk about? The All-Star team? Because if you want to pull up, we could probably make that happen, Coach Trav. We got the All-Star team together. It's practice coming up in a couple weeks. Bring your team down. I'm sure Tito All-Star team will scrimmage you easy. Inbox me right now. I'll make it happen. Too many coaches trying to live their dream through these kids instead of focusing on keeping the kids off the streets. That does happen. I will agree. It is often said by a lot of people that that's what spring coaches do. They don't want to let it go and let these kids' bodies heal and do stuff. So I hear that a lot, mainly around the spring. I'm not saying it's true or false. I'm just saying you consistently hear that around the coach that's spring. But I do want to say that co-host is here. Tito, what's up? I do want to say that that to paying players is not necessarily living through the kids. The question is, now look, some coaches is like Nick Saban. If we went this route, they'll bow out. I may be one of those coaches. I can't see myself begging and paying a kid to play for me. That'll eat me inside because I've always been a coach that say you should want to play for me because of the amount of effort and talent and knowledge that I provide, that I bring to the table, and the amount of work I put in the offseason that I'm going to do for your son as much value as your son would do for this team. At least that's just my, conceited coaching mental aspect of the game. But if we got to, I think that's why Nick Saban left. So Tito, I'm talking about paying players, right? I just played something where I showed the baseball clip where the baseball team paid a kid's flight, the room, and gave the family spending money to come play in the tournament. So that the baseball team win, it raises the team's stock, notoriety, they get more whatever, and he paid the players. And in the football world, we oftentimes think of this as disrespectful, corny, bad character, and all that. And I'm saying, is there now a time where we have to start rethinking this thing in youth football so we're not the last sport to be left behind like we are in a lot of other sports?
That's a slippery slope, dog.
Isn't that what the NIL deal was? A slippery slope?
Yeah, but that's college. I mean, I can see it there. It's happening to youth. I told you that documentary like 20 years ago, The Year of the Bull, about the Miami area. They were already doing that. So it's not unheard of. In New England, we're definitely not ready for it because look how niggas wild out now over the petty shit. You know what I'm saying? Imagine if there was real money involved. Like, real talk. Imagine if there was real money involved.
When I was at the A60 All-Star game this year, in Kenny Park, Tito. I'm not going to say no names. God, honest, true story. I was speaking to a dad. And the dad said, I'm sorry, I put a muscle in my back, y'all. And the dad said, my son got paid $1,000 to go play in the tournament by said team. And I was talking to him on the side. He's a kid that will be playing in the All-Star game this year on the A60 side. And the dad said, yeah, they paid my son $1,000 to play. And I looked at him and I said, then I don't blame you for playing for them. Because if my son can get work proper training, and I can get paid, why not take the money? I don't see anything wrong with it if you're going to pay. Now, my question to you, Tito, what's the slippery slope?
When it don't work out.
What do you mean?
Like if you pay this money for this kid at Cubs and you still lose, then what? People up this way won't know how to act. People will lose their mind over that.
But don't nobody.
There'll be hold on. There will be no sanctioned way of paying them at the youth level. There's gonna be no business part of it. You get what I'm saying?
Why it gotta be a business? I book a room. I say, Tito, here's your room key. Here's your flight tickets. Here's $100 for your food.
And when you lose the game, and people know you did that, what's gonna be the repercussion?
What's the repercussions when you give an NIL deal to a cornerback that get burnt?
Bro, this ain't college, bro. There's parameters with all that.
I got you.
There's parameters.
No. What is the repercussions to the college when Coach Tito, who's prime,
yeah, that's a whole different.
A cornerback deal? Follow me though. I'm just asking you, what is the blowback on a coach when I get burnt 9 times and I'm Deion Sanders' son and I got a $5 million NIL deal and the kid behind me who looks like he's better don't have an NIL deal and don't start? What's the blowback on Deion?
Oh, there's blowback on Deion. Deion don't win this year. You'll see. There's blowback. There's going to be blowback.
My answer to you is,
and he won't win this year. Just so we're clear, he won't win this year. He'll be under 500 this year again.
We already got those best lines. We already bet.
I already got all those. He will go under 500 again.
So Tito, my question to you is, my answer to you is, the same blowback Deion gets from the crowd is the same blowback you're going to get from the crowd. That's it. Do you care about the blowback that you get now?
I don't care me personally, but
Dennis said slippery slope is the other players on the team leave because the parents paying $300 to have their kids play while one kid is getting $1,000. So let me get this right. If your youth football program asked you to pay based on the talent level of kids, youth football would have a problem with that. Now, let's be honest. There's some kids around the state that we know have an excessive amount of talent. We know the names. I haven't got permission to say the names, right? So let's say Tito, in the Hurricanes, I go, you know what? And let's not act like people haven't done it. This kid is a stud. This kid is a dog. I'm going to let this kid play for free because I need him. It's already happening. People have let kids play for free. And let's be honest, Tito, a couple years ago, we had to get at an Allstar coach on the A6 side for trying to recruit players and what? Promising them free. I'll give you free this. I'll give you a free pair of cleats. What is the difference? What's the difference between making his registration free and giving him cleats, promising him a visor, and me giving you a plane ticket and a room key? What's the difference?
There's a big difference. $1,000 more dollars. $1,000 more dollars. Like I said, it's not about the money. Anybody can come up with the money, bro. It's the principles behind the whole thing. And then when it doesn't work out for your team, you got to answer to all the parents and everything else. I mean, bro, if it happens here, I'll be shocked. But we know ain't nobody putting up that type of money for kids in New England. I'll put money on it. I don't think it's our reality. I don't think that's where we're at yet. It may be coming. The day may be coming. It may be coming, but I don't think it's here now.
No, I'm not saying whether it's here now or not. What I'm saying is that
it's not gonna happen, bro.
Football has an antiquated way of thinking, is my point. When it comes to the other sports,
they'd have to do it in high school first, Phil. They'd have to do it in high school first. They'd have to do all this at high school first.
Let's not act like we don't know. Okay, let's talk about the prep school discussion that we had, where a guy told us, I think he was with me, where he told us the prep school gave the kid a full ride, right? They gave the kid $800 every month. They gave the kid an iPad, an iPhone, and a laptop computer. Every semester they updated it for that kid to come to their prep school. It's happening in high school. It's already happening. What are you talking about?
That's prep school. That's prep school. That's not public high school. That's prep school.
And so in public high school, you don't think nobody's getting no perks?
If they are, they gotta hide it.
Not the broke schools you and I come
bro,
from.
you know they're not doing it, bro. It's not happening in Connecticut, dog. Like, it's not happening, dog. It's not.
Here's where, to me, we get left behind. As a sport, you guys keep talking about Connecticut. I ain't talking about Connecticut, Tito. I'm talking about as a sport. As a sport, youth football usually move the slowest. And to be honest with you, New England moved worse. See, Ty just said it. Not happening in Connecticut. That, to me, is your problem in Connecticut. Is you guys are always last to move. That's why it's always those words. We need to do it like the down south guys do it. I'm not advocating that it happen. All I'm saying is, if it starts to happen, please rethink and stop casticizing people for it happening.
Bro,
because
you know the
it's going to be antiquated in our thoughts.
Look at the rats. Look at the rats that survive. Look at the rats that are in the youth football world. You think in high school football you start doing that stuff? The rats are really coming out. You know, we're in the world full of rats.
You got kids living in one state, playing in another state, using an address, and you and I both damn well the kid don't live there, and ain't nobody saying nothing. So don't act like this things ain't happening, and everybody's keeping it shut.
That team must not be winning. Because if they're winning, they're gonna blow the top off the case.
You think they're eventually gonna blow the tops off of those cases?
Oh, of course, it's gonna come.
Hey,
it's already happening now. Dude.
You remember the varsity coach we was just talking to at your field?
There's a school.
Where's all of those kids that was in Hartford playing?
There's a school in Connecticut right now that I'm pretty sure after this year is going up in flames. Just remember I said that. On June 20th, 2024, Thursday, June 20th, 2024, there's a high school that's going to go down with all types of infractions this year. And I'm telling you that in June. Oh, damn. I ain't saying, but I'm not even talking about them guys. Oh, shit. That time backing it up? Oh, shit.
At this age where nobody has a contract, we are all living, doing this volunteer, paying $1,000 for a player to come out for a few bragging rights is crazy. I feel like the ego thing at this age is about kids' growth and the nature. To tell you the truth, man, this thing is now a business. We have to start remembering that this thing is a business, and there's a lot of people making a lot of money off the backs of children. Tito, did you see the case today? Let me put up a case for y'all. I'm about to put up a case for y'all. Let me put up a case. Let me present something to y'all. I'm going to show you how big business works. Because this is the type of thing. This is today, June 18th. This was 2 days ago. My bad. Look at this. Milford, Mass.
That's Massachusetts, by the way. Let's be clear. This is not Connecticut.
Look at the amount of money. Dog, if you don't think youth football is big business, you need to learn the game. It's big business. This is one program.
We know it's big business, bro. I'm the one who told you it's big business.
It's sitting on $500,000 or whatever. It's big business. Yeah, so giving the kid $1,000 ain't nothing when the treasurer can steal $285 over the course of how many years?
Yeah, but when you're doing it for everybody, it will be a problem. Somebody will blow the whistle.
You ain't doing it for everybody, Tito. You doing it for the people you need. I'm just saying, like, if it starts to happen, all I'm saying is this happening already down south. We just talked. We remember earlier this year we had somebody on that said, "Yo, they're already paying players down south." But again, and I'm not advocating it. All I'm saying is I would like my region to stop being so damn antiquated when it comes to these things. We think too late, we think too slow, and we're too judgmental about where this game is going. We in New England, I put up this Windsor track team, a couple of my players playing it. We got the talent, we got the speed to compete with all these things. What we don't have is a knack to be ahead of the game when it gets there. Like the transfer portal idea. We cannot deal with that in New England. It just burns everybody's ass and everybody start beefing. Down south, it's a norm. It'll eventually get to us.
That's true, and that's what I'm talking about, the rats. We got a bunch of rats in the youth football world in Connecticut. There's a bunch of little rats.
My point is, it'll eventually get to us where we will go, okay, let's rock. But it's not here because New England is still conservative as they approach the sport. Down south is not conservative. They're very progressive. In Texas and Bama and Florida, they're very progressive. As
I agree with
they're willing to get with the changes of the day in the sport. We're conservative. We don't let those changes happen until they force feed you with a spoon. We complain about it and then alter our game to match what they're doing down there. And we go, oh, we can't beat them. It's a reason why we can't beat them. Because we're playing their game. They're not playing ours because we're always one step behind. Let's see. Ty Carter said, and Sonya been doing that. Oh, jeez. I'll name drop. I don't care. What's wrong is wrong, and what's right is right. It's unfair.
Yeah, my man from Waterbury, he hot.
Whoever that was is a piece of stealing from kids, by the way. Agree. I mean, no. Jay Wright is watching and learning. Jay Wright Sr. Yeah. I don't know any high schoolers receiving money or scholarships, said a prep school mom. Until I get props, I can't say a name. But a prep school mom says she don't know any doing it. Just for the record, a coach told us that. Told me that he know a kid in prep school that was getting that. I'm just putting that out there. I'm not arguing about business. I mean, it'll be free to play if that's the case. But coaches who literally get nothing but a ring, trophy, and medals to play all the travel time and effort is crazy. Yeah, I mean, possible. Like
there's dudes that will do it though. I get where you're going. There's people that will do it. We know these type cats out here that will do anything to try to win a game that don't be nothing.
Maybe the $1,000 is a bit much. Maybe I should.
There is people that will do it. I don't want to act like I'm naive to the fact that there's cats that will do it. You get what I'm saying? I would never do it because I know the blowback that comes with anything I'm involved with. Like I've never even fathomed to throw money, my own personal money, at somebody come play for me. First of all, I don't even, believe it or not, people ain't gonna believe this, I don't recruit that one kid. People come play for me because they want the coaching aspect of what I do. It has nothing to do with me ever saying anything to anybody, yo, come play for us. I don't do that at all. And I also don't kiss any parent's ass for me to have their kid because they're that good. People learn the hard way with me. And that's just the way it is. It's my way or the highway.
It's a fact that the prep school work for kids to get full rides and money as well. They get $500 stipends after every semester. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be public info, but it's true. So it's true, Tito. They get money.
Who gets money?
Instead, tell Tito it's the truth. They do get paid.
Who we talking about?
A prep school.
Oh, but that's different. There's parameters for what they do. They're allowed to do that. Public schools aren't allowed to do that. Absolutely, prep schools go there. They're allowed to, bro. What are you talking about?
I wasn't talented enough to
go
to
go there for free. If they offer you the right deal, you possibly could go there for free. So if they, bro,
that's not the same as giving you a check. That's not the same as sliding you $500.
Listen, I know a situation a kid is going to school for like $5 or something this year.
Okay, but that's not giving you waiving tuition is not the same as waiving tuition and then slide in Tito some paper. It's not the same thing. You
Sliding
Before,
the kid.
remember what used
We're
to
not
happen?
we're talking about football players. We're not talking about
Right,
me.
sliding a football player goes to said prep school.
Okay.
Then Phil come in or whoever, the dean or whatever, and they slide Tito $500.
Listen, I'm sure that happens with these so-called trainer gurus that all claim these kids anyway. I'm sure it does happen. I'm sure that happens.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They say it's true.
Yeah,
It said tell Tito it's the truth.
It may be. I don't know nobody. No situation.
I'm telling you that
and I'm sure my reach is a lot longer than everybody else's. But okay.
This is a person who I can't, brother. This is true. It's not made up. I'm telling you. We didn't talk afterwards, but this is a factual data situation. This isn't a make believe or this is what they think.
I'm not saying I don't believe it.
It's true, but let's.
I would like not to believe it, but
they get paid. I got college teammates who got me, who told me they got money playing at prep.
Prep school's a whole different thing of parameters. There's a whole different set of rules with prep schools that we're like. I know the public.
What makes you think is a whole different? I would say
because it's a different game at that level. It's a different game.
Tell me why. Tell me what's the difference between the prep school and
because there's tuition involved. There's endowment. There's other things.
So then why can I slip you $500 here but not over there when both of it is?
Listen, I don't know a case. I'm sure it happens, but I couldn't pinpoint a case where it happened.
Public schools are funded by the taxpayer. So is public colleges. They still get paid. UConn is a public institution. It's a state school. State funded. All of us pay for UConn. They can now pay players. All I'm saying, look, let me get to what I'm saying so everybody understand me. I'm not advocating that we get there. I told you at the beginning of this, I'd probably get out the game if you got here. Because now, instead of kids coming to play for us, kids will be coming to the Hurricane saying, I'm only playing if you could give me more than what Bloomfield's willing to give me. I can't play that game. I'm sure that's why Nick Saban got out. It used to be Nick Saban came to your kitchen and you damn near, pee on yourself because you got Saban in your kitchen and you knew your life could possibly change. Now, kids looking at Saban like, yeah, it's cool to see you and all that, but how much money you giving me? Because I don't have to go to no big time school, but BC's offering me a $3 million NIL deal. So can Bama get me 4? The game switched up on him fast. He was no longer the most important person in the room. The money was. So before we talk about what you can do for me, Nick Saban, let's talk about the money. I don't think he liked that. And you know what? If I was St. Nick, I wouldn't like it either. All this work I put in, all my resume speak for itself, and you who have done nothing get a right to look at me and say, what are you going to do for me? Think about that. That got to be a crazy feeling for a coach like Nick Saban. To have a kid, a 17 or 18-year-old kid look at him and just give him the ability to say, what are you going to do for me? That got to be a crazy game. I don't know how these top college coaches doing it. Maybe they sending Nick Saban been paying players. He left because he no longer had an advantage. They all been paying players. Let's be clear. Remember, we've seen this way back in the program where you have a good team and the alumni slip you a little envelope in your sleeve here and tell you, hey, keep up the good work. Come on. Let's not put that on Nick Saban. You know what I'm saying? Let's not put that on Nick Saban, right? A lot of coaches, like he is saying, they don't like these big-time NIL deals. It changes the game for them. Prep schools is a private fund. Public schools are not. High school budgets are nowhere near prep. Public schools can't buy a laptop without permission from the suits above. That's not true, but public schools can do some stuff, y'all. I don't want to say no public school names, but I know a couple public schools that could move some things around to make sure a kid is situated. You can compare college to high school or prep because they are major colleges that
I believe he means you can't compare. I think he means you can't compare. You can't
compare. Oh.
I believe that's what he means. You can ask him, though, but I'm pretty sure that's what he means.
You can definitely, in my opinion, take a top prep school like an IMG and compare them to a college style, a college program. Just my opinion. I could be wrong. I've never been to IMG. Watch the movie Blue Chip. Is that the movie you be talking about?
Blue Chips. Yeah, that was Shaq and Petty and them. That was the movie with Shaq, Petty, and the cat from the player at Indiana.
Okay. All right. So, Tito, let's move on. I think we hit that on the head. Let's talk about high school coaches and their perception of youth coaches, but also their perception of the All-Star game. Let me tell everybody what happened. So I happened to be in a location out in New Britain, and I saw a high school coach. And I called that, I told some fellas, yo, y'all mind bringing that high school coach over here? And the high school coach came over, and I said to him, I introduced myself. I had never met him, never knew who he was, never saw him a day in my life. I said, I want to talk to you real quick. I'd like to get your take on why you would not like your kids to play in the All-Star game. What is it about the All-Star game that burns your ass so much that you don't want your children playing in the All-Star game? And the first thing he said to me, Tito, was, I don't think they need to, because I can call a prep school and make the prep school come see them. Now, I didn't get to say everything because obviously it was an educational conversation, so we both listened to each other. It was a more involved conversation, just he and I. A couple of your coaches was involved. You were involved. And I didn't get a chance to say, though, Tito, that when he said that, it will almost say, why would it take the All-Star game for you have to call and get these players seen? Just do it then. Every kid on your roster should be visiting the prep schools. If you can just make a call and you can get them there, why does it take the All-Star game to get you to say they don't need you in your All-Star game because I can do it myself? Another thing that he said, Tito, that really got me was, I don't think that kids, look, I asked them, I said, let me be honest with you. Is your problem that you're afraid to lose kids to the prep schools? Somebody might see your most talented kid and they may take them. I said to him, and you remember, I recognize it's your job to produce wins. It's a job for you. You're entitled to put the best product on the field. Are you afraid that you may lose your children to the prep schools? He acknowledged it, but then also went on. He acknowledged, yes, that's a problem. But he also went on to say, but I got a kid going to prep school right now, which I don't get. You knew the kid. I did not understand.
He played our game in 2021, like I told you.
Huh?
He was spotted in that game. They found out about him in the 2021 game. Yes.
You did tell him.
But I love how people try to take credit. You know I told him that. But I love how people they always try to minimize us. But I'm going to let you handle this part of it because, if I get going on this thing, it's going to go way left. So I'm going to let you handle it. I'm going to hit the mute button, matter of fact.
No. So the conversation kept going on, and it was a lively debate. It got to the point of him saying, listen, the reason I don't like the All-Star game is because my kids lie to me about being in the All-Star game. I said, please explain. I'd like to hear this. He said, well, my kids tell me that they can't come to high school training because of the All-Star game. I said, wow, that's interesting. Tell me more. Well, we train from 2:30 to 5:30, and they should be with us. And if you're not with us, then my kids are going to be questioning, why are you over there with the All-Star when you're supposed to be with us and you're skipping practice? I said, that's a perfect thing, but you have one problem, sir. And he said, what? I said, the All-Star practice don't start till after that. He said, what? I said, you're not listening to me. The kids aren't missing your practice because of the All-Star game. They're missing your practice because they don't want to come to your practice, because the All-Star practice don't start till after you're done, which means they could do both. But if they're showing up to All-Star and not your practice at 2:00 in the afternoon, then you have a bigger problem. And you're taking it out on the All-Star game. So you don't like us. You shun your kids from being around it. You talk bad about it when it has nothing to do with why your children aren't showing up for you at your high school for your high school trainers. It's easy. And I asked them, I said, let me ask you something. Do you feel like you bear any responsibility for these kids not wanting to come to your trainings? You're blaming the All-Star game. Now you realize it had nothing to do with the All-Star game. At 2:30, the All-Star game has no requirements for no kid in the state of Connecticut. Practice ain't starting at 6:00. Oh, in some cases, 2:03 was only going on a weekend. So, so that's another. I'm getting to that, Darity. I'm getting to that. I also said to him, the All-Star game is not strictly about prep schools. It's not strictly about being seen by prep schools. It's about letting the state of Connecticut, public schools, high schools, private schools, Catholic schools, the fans, the mothers, the fathers see the top talent in the state of Connecticut like they do in other states. It's not only about that. I said that to him. I'm glad you put that up. I said that to him specifically. It's not about only prep schools. It's about seeing the top talent that we have in the state of Connecticut. And they're playing one game. He went on and said, well, if kids wouldn't lie because we know they're deceptive, then maybe I'd have a different stance. I said, that's interesting. I said, because I got another take on it, I said to him. He said, what? I said, if you had a relationship with the All-Star game as a public school, high school coach, then maybe your kids wouldn't be able to lie to you about it. He asked me what? I said, I'm going to give you an example. If you knew Coach Phil and the A60 practice was going down at my field, and your kid said, I can't go to your 2:30 practice because I got All-Star practice, and you had a relationship with me, you called me and said, Phil, so-and-so isn't coming to my practice because he got to do what y'all got going on, I would have said absolutely nothing. The kid's lying to you. Your player just don't want to show up. Then you can check your players. Because something you doing is not connecting with your players, not giving them that hunger to want to show up for you. But instead, having no relationship with the coaches that coach your All-Star or the All-Star president gives you information that makes you mad at the All-Star game. So now you're shunning the All-Star game. You're talking bad about it. You do. Now, he said he didn't have, Tito, any ill will towards the All-Star game. I do want to say that. But in the discussions, it sounded to me like there was some animosity. You acknowledge that it was some, Tito. There was some animosity towards the All-Star game from this public school coach. And I was trying to get down to the core of what is it. I still didn't really understand what it was. And then he flipped it at the end. And let me read some of these comments before I keep going forward. Ty Rizzo Jenkins is a high school coach. What's your take? High schools don't do enough in supporting athletes get noticed to the next level. High schools need to do more. Ty Carter, I wasn't watching. What did I miss? I showed that comment. Ty Rizzo, what's your take on playing in high school and playing in an All-Star game? I'm a high school coach, and I think if a player can benefit from playing, good for him. If Saban liked the way I coach and wants to give me a job, I'm out. And I told my kids that over and over. If your kids don't show up for you, it's because of something you're not doing. I have 2 players that are playing in both the All-Star game and the high school level. And so, Tito, what I did was, hold on, there's a couple more comments. If you as a coach are scared for your talent to leave and better themselves, that's a wild take. If they can afford to go and wants to take the gamble, that's on them. And I'm a public school coach, by the way. I coach both because he loves the game, Jay Wright said. And so at the end of it, he said, well, Phil, nobody from the All-Star game contacted me. He said that to me. And I said, you're right. I actually did email all the prep schools in New England, Mass, couple in New York, couple in Jersey, give them a heads up about the game, let them know the stream, let them know the rosters, ask them if they want rosters. A lot said yes, send them the rosters, etc. A lot said they'll send coaches. And I said to him, here's why though. I got friends that's public school coaches, dudes I'm really cool with. You can't find a public school coach's email on the website like you can do a prep school. Prep schools are more college-y, right? They post the staff, the emails, the phone numbers to their people. Public schools don't, Tito. There's no athletic page, like I told him, at his particular school that says what the staff is to the high school and what the emails are of the staff members. He acknowledged that was true. I said, so, being that you know the game is going on, you, though, can find me. It's much harder for me to find them. The advertisement got the number, has the email. It has all of it. It's nothing to say, hey, can you give me a call so I can ask you a couple questions about this thing? I got kids that's being distracted by this game, if that's what you feel, right? Now, I don't want to get in. Public schools coaches don't like the idea prep schools coach on their grounds. We had this problem in Brockton. The high school didn't like that they were bringing in the top-notch prep schools to our games. The funny part is there's really no beef. When you see a prep school and
I have one thought.
They're usually cool. Go ahead.
I have one thought on it. And this is truly my thought of why I stand by the All-Star game and stand by when you pitched this idea to me years ago, why I stand by it. There's two things. Number one, we both from urban inner city school systems, right?
Yep.
If we don't give our kids opportunities, who's going to give it to them? Who?
No,
Because we know the public schools are failing all our children. Like, this is real talk. This is real talk. I don't care what public school is. If you're in a school system that's considered inner city, quote unquote inner city, if you're affected by magnet schools, if you're affected by Catholic schools, whatever the case may be, if we don't give our kids in the inner city a chance for opportunities, who will? Who's going to do it? I know we've placed, since we started this game, 17 kids in prep school. Like, I'm not one to get into the numbers and be that, oh, look what we did. No, I don't do that. But I'm pretty sure that's the number, right?
I'm going to help you out, Tino.
Am I bugging? How many kids have we placed?
17, I think it was.
Right, 17.
Something like
right?
that. It's around there. A lot more visits, though.
Right, and that's just in 4 years. So let's take it by year. Let's take it by year. That's 4 kids a year, right? No, not even. More than that. That's almost 6 kids a year that played in this game that benefited from what we're doing. Any of your youth programs out there or high school programs is putting that type of output on. I want to see the numbers. Because that if you save one kid, it's a miracle. And not to say we're saving them all, but look at the opportunities we're providing them.
And let me be clear. Obviously, families and kids do their own part. They make sure they got the grades.
That's a big part of it too.
They make sure all that. We're not doing
how many
that.
Conversations have we connected? Right. How many conversations have we put the dots together?
That's
when we put the dots together. The direct, when we was talking about inside zone today, we created the stovepipe. You get what I'm saying? When you split the stovepipe.
Tito, look, this is the U.S. News 2024, the top high schools in Connecticut. I don't see New Britain on here. I don't see
no inner cities. No,
I don't see New Britain.
No, call them out.
I don't see
When people think we're crazy.
I don't see New Haven.
You don't see that one inner city school in here.
I don't see Danbury. I don't see. I don't see any cities. I don't see Norwalk.
The truth is, you want to know what the real truth is? When I got that conversation,
this is education,
not just from
not
that
sports, y'all.
When I got that conversation, it's not just that conversation. It's the overall thought. You know, I'm in the real coaching network throughout the nation. You know that. I'm in the coaching fraternity, like with the real coaches. Not with the shit that goes around here. Like real people know me. You get what I'm saying? The truth of the matter is there's a lack of respect from high school coaches to youth coaches and vice versa. That's just the straight up truth.
What you mean by respect?
There's just a lack of appreciation. Maybe respect's not the right word. There's a lack of appreciation from both sides of what we do.
That might be true.
They're not really feeling us, and we know from being on the other side, we're not feeling them either. You get what I'm saying? So that's the number one problem.
Because remember, I made the statement to him, and he got really offended. I said, yo, youth coaches put in a lot more interpersonal time with families than y'all do at the high school.
Bro, it's not even interpersonal.
He got offended.
Here's the bottom line.
Let me finish. He got offended, and he started talking about, oh, this is what I do for kids in the inner city. And I said, yo, stop. Don't take this conversation personal. I don't know you. I don't know what type of brother you are. That's irrelevant. I ain't emotional over here. I said, what I'm talking about is when a kid don't show up for you, because he said it in that conversation, if you remember. If this kid can't make it, I move on. I got kids to concentrate. I said, right. But when a kid ain't making it for us, we're calling mom, we're calling dad. And sometimes mom and dad get to have conversations with us right at the game, on the sideline, after the game. They don't get to do that with you as the head high school coach. You're distant. Oh, but I talk to the kids. I said, right. And we talk to the families. That makes us a lot more personable to these families and a lot more impressionable than you high school coaches are. And he went on to explain how much he do all of 365 around a year. But I forgot to tell him one thing, Tito. You remember this. A year and a half ago, I was offered a head coach job in Hartford, right? You remember how I was supposed to get extra money to run what? The strength and conditioning program, right? When he said that, it didn't dawn on me, wait a minute. You're not doing strength and conditioning because you love doing strength and conditioning. You're doing strength and conditioning because that's an extra check. Right. Which is fine. I'm about the paper. But let's not act like you're like the youth coach doing it all year round. Some of the flag coaches that's doing like you. Y'all doing spring. Y'all doing fall. You're doing flag. You're doing 7-on-7. It ain't the same. There's no check coming with that extra flag season like it is when you do your winter condition. When they say, I'll give you another $3,200 if you do the strength and conditioning program. On top of the $8,000-9,000 I'm going to give you for the fall season. So when you say, oh, I do strength and conditioning in the off season, what you mean is I get paid to do a strength and conditioning program at my school. It's not the same as Coach Larry staying in tune with his players in January and February to do indoor football because he want to keep them busy, keep them locked in with him, keep the families locked in with him, and making sure he 360-ing these kids so they with him all year round. So there's a trust between the mother, the father, the kid, and the coach. Just two different worlds. I forgot to say that to him. Go ahead, T.
Bro, the bottom line is there's a lack of appreciation for both sides. And I don't know, man. I didn't leave it. It's exactly what I thought it was. It was exactly what I thought it was. Like how the conversation went was exactly how I thought it was. And it's the truth. There's a lack of appreciation on both sides. You know it because we had some other conversations, and it's just there's a big disconnect between the youth world and the high school world. It's unfortunate, but it's the truth. There's a huge disconnect.
Gil, that's an interesting point, Gil. I'd love to talk about that more. But this is a true statement if I ever heard.
No, that's not what we're talking. That's not what I'm saying.
No. I said Gil.
No, I'm listening to Gil. I'm looking at what he's writing. You put it up. I'm just reading what he's writing.
This one right here. He said it's not the public schools that are failing our kids. It's the public failing our kids. And I said to him, that's an interesting topic.
That could be true.
I'd love to have that conversation because I do think
that could be true. Coaches only get these kids a couple hours a day. They're in the school, if they're going to school, 6 to 8 hours a day, bro. Like these people are getting paid big salaries to do what they're doing. And it's just not happening for the inner city kids. It's not. It's just not happening, dog.
at the end of the day, he made a suggestion. He said, won't you reach out to the public school coaches before tryouts next year, going forward, and ask them, do you have any kids? Do you have any kids that you would like to try out for the All-Star game? That'll help them get an opportunity. Do you have any kids? Now, I said that might be a good idea. Maybe I should call some public schools and say, hey, we have this tryout for the Youth All-Star game. It's going down the first week of June. You have any kids at your high school that you think you would like to come out? However, some of me believe that they're not going to ask the players that's been coming out, because the amount of talented players we've seen coming out from the high school have been JV varsity level talent coming out, right? I do not believe they would recommend those children to come play for us. My own personal belief, I have absolutely no proof that that's the case. But he said, you should do it. And I said to him, what would happen if a kid came to you and said he wanted to play? He said, realistically, yes. I tell him he don't need it. Then to me, that answered the question, that you would not say yes to the game. You would not say yes. Not all, let me read this comment. Not all high schools are like that, though. A lot of them are, though. Let's not act like these kids aren't getting grown and have to start making their own decisions. It's not mommy and daddy ball decision no more. The high school I coach at, we are very active with kids and parents. When you say you're active with kids and parents on a high school level, what does that mean? So, for instance, high school's over. Outside of practicing, what are you guys at that particular high school doing with the kids and the parents? Like, because in youth football, I'm going to tell you what's happening. I'll give an example. Right now, some coach or some team mom got her son and 5 other kids at their house playing video games and spending the night till Monday. Like, it's happening right now on some level right now. At the youth football level, they're feeding them, they're playing together, they're chilling together, they're doing all of that. They're going to play football together. The coach is going to come by. He probably got a van that got 100,000 miles on it, and he's driving them around to a flag, a 7-on-7, maybe even just the train on the big hill that's in town, and they doing that. Now he got to feed them because, you know, as coaches, it ain't that our parents broke. Sometimes we forget to ask them for money. So now we pull up, we buy a large pizza, we sit around, we eat. And this is after we have had our practices with the kids. Yes, we are married guys too. Some of us got girlfriends and wives and kids and careers. I can promise y'all, youth football is not a bunch of dudes that's from the streets that smoke weed and just want to have sex with teen moms. I can promise you that's not all of us. So let's not put us in a box. The same morals and guidelines and things that we see or expect from the high school level, those expectations come with youth football, even though it's thrown out as those guys can't coach. Those guys can't do this. I was certified high school coach for the first 6 years of my youth career. I just let go the certification class and didn't renew it because I wasn't coaching high school. I work for the state. I get out at 4:30. I don't get out at 2:30 to coach high school. So keeping up with that was irrelevant to me when I can obtain the same knowledge by going to my clinics, getting on YouTube, talking football, attending with clinics wherever I need to, writing down, doing my own education, and dumbing down what I need to learn for the youth that I feel I'm going to pour into. Right? And so with that being said, I'd love to hear, what is it that I think he responded. I coach youth as well, but parent meetings, grade checks, team cookouts at the field, taking them to visits and camps. Grade check. I'm talking about in the off season, Sean. I think the grade checks, that's kind of mandatory, right? Like if they don't make the grades, they can't play for you. I ain't knocking y'all saying y'all don't do the same thing. y'all not pouring into kids. And I had to make that clear to him as well. I'm saying when you're a youth coach, the way you go at coaching a kid and being involved with a child at 10 and 11, it makes it possible. And you know this, Sean, because you're a youth coach, right? It makes it possible for you to have him at 16 and have a head on his shoulders and understand the level of discipline you're instilling and show up to the camps, show up to the clinics, show up for your team dinners and team meetings and all of that stuff. Because if it ain't nobody at this group making sure they understand that track, understand that level of discipline and perfection you're trying to reach, if there's nobody instilling that at 10, you can't just install that at 16. That's not how the game go, right? You can't just put that in somebody at 16 years old. And so that's all I was saying, Sean, is when I asked the question, I wasn't saying in any type of disrespectful way. I was just digging into, because I look, I'm not a high school coach. I don't know. And I'm open to maybe I'm wrong. You know what I'm saying? I could be wrong. I'm sorry. I'm weaving, trying to turn my light on, man. It's anyway. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's all I was asking. That's a norm in youth sports. Preach, brother. No, keep talking. Keep talking. I have about 5 kids, bringing them home, taking them to basketball games and getting them food. You aren't just a coach. You're a role model and a parent when they're not around. 100%. I agree with that comment. As youth coaches, we play a small part in developing the character and the player. From 6 to 14, we have them. High schools only have them for 4 years. True. Listen, let's be honest. Home life is the most impactful life. And that's what I mean about the youth coaches. We oftentimes get sucked into a kid's home life. And everybody out there that got kids know what happens at home will 100% determine the type of player we're going to get at youth or at high school. I don't care what nobody say. If mom is allowing him to walk around, disrespect, curse, smoke weed with her, do whatever with her, run out with the chicks, have sex, come home at midnight, I'm sorry, at 14U, I've been coaching a long time. It's going to be hard to get this kid to practice. It's going to be hard to convince him. Half the time you call, you say, where your son at? She go, I don't even know. I ain't seen him in 2 days. Happened to a lot, right? But those kids at 14U that mom was disciplined. Mom put the stamp down. Dad was in the household. Makes a world of difference. I'm sorry. It's just the truth. When the kids that got coached, the kids I've coached that had a strong father in the household were completely different type of players with a completely different type of mindset. When there was a strong father in the household, the level of discipline that player held himself to, and I was able to hold that player to with the dad assistance, it's a world of difference. There are some women that does that same thing. They're not a lot. Kia, shout out to Kia. Shamir, shout out to Shamir. I haven't even coached Shamir's son. From a distance watching, that level of discipline with her son and what he brings to the sport and the way he approaches it, I know it has to be there, right? Kia, I seen it firsthand. You know what I'm saying? Buck was there at all times. Discipline, locked in, loaded. Ain't no days off. When you say you're going to do it, you're going to do it. Those things happen absolutely all the time, dog. And we see them a lot when there's a men in the household. They can happen when women in the household, but I don't know. Maybe we should have those moms I just mentioned on to tell us, because I don't know how they're able to accomplish that, right? Because and what I mean by that is I'm not a mom, a single mom raising a young man, but still able to give him that level of discipline. And Tito, I think a lot of mothers out there would benefit from hearing from those parents that could say, here's my regimen. You ain't even got to use it. But how did you keep this kid on a track to be disciplined and all of that? And now he's in prep school with the top, Power 5 offers. How did you do that as a single mom? There's a lot of single moms out there that want to know how. They want to do it. Some of them, Tito, listen, you and I know there's a lot of single moms out there that's not doing it right. There's a lot of single dads out there, Tito. You say all the time, and I say all the time, they blew it, right? Well, how about I think that's what we're gonna do. We need to bring on parents that can explain to us and give us insight and knowledge into their routine on what they did. And I think we're gonna set that podcast
I
up.
think the biggest focus is with the way the portal is now, with the way the NIL is now, and all the other circumstances is, if you would get college paid for and play football, that's your best bet. You guys got to stop thinking your kids are going Power 5. That's not happening no more. It's not happening. You got to be that much different to do that. The focus needs to be on trying to get your kids' education paid for. And if football is the vehicle that can take you there, then concentrate on that. You need to stop with all this bringing your kids to all these camps and all that. Like, put their best film together and shop it yourself the right way. There's certain ways to do that on social media. We've put it out there. Figure out how to do that and try to get your child's education paid for. Stop thinking beyond that, because 1 in a million. It's literally 1 in a million beyond that. If you can get the education paid for, I think the focus to get better for everybody overall. Like, that's what we need to concentrate on as parents, coaches, mentors, and everything else. Try to get these kids' education paid for. If we really want to make a difference, to me, that's where the difference is to be made. More of our kids getting opportunities, getting college played for, getting when you go to college, especially if you go D3, D2, you got to worry about rooming and all that. That's where the focus needs to be, getting the money for that stuff. All this other stuff's for the birds.
Let me say that look, I don't want to tell parents don't shoot for the stars, because you guys might land on the moon, or is it don't shoot for the moon, you land on, y'all know the saying, right?
The game changed, cuz. The game changed.
Yeah, but I look, if they believe they have D1 talent, take their shot, right? I don't want them to say,
how many people we saw? Hold on, dog. How many people have we seen that I told you about these cases in the last 5 years? Of you think these kids, by doing all that's going to get you there. But here's the real factor. You're not big enough, dog. You're not big enough. You're not a big enough person for this to happen to you. How many cases do we see like that? I'm being real.
No, here's my point, Tito. I agree with you. We see a lot of cases of people that believe this hype that their kid is going to do it.
Delusional.
And they fall short. But here's my point. Taking you can't make the jump shot if you don't shoot it, though.
I hear you.
So look,
bro,
that their process was flawed. That's my point. Like, we saw a lot of people that sons could have been, in our opinion, in different positions, but the process they followed, you and I was looking back like, I don't know if they should have done that. Now, I don't mean I was right.
The expectations were off. But the expectations were off because genetically, remember, genetics plays into this. How many times I told you, he's only going to be this big. It's never going to happen for him. You get what I'm saying? And people want to argue, no. I'm like, dog, size means everything in this sport. Everything. Size dictates everything.
My point is that don't mean that family shouldn't shoot for Penn State, even if they're going to end up at Penn. Right? Like, I don't want to be.
Winding up at Penn's a win. Winding up at Penn's a win.
No, I know. But when you think you're going Power 5, when you think you're going to Georgia, Bama, to Florida State, to the U, and then you end up at Penn, some of those guys, you and I say that's a win, Tito. That's not what we've been told about some of the other kids that ended up in some full ride situations. In some situations, we've been told some people got bigger expectations than that.
Well, we heard that. And look, I don't even want to go there with
I mean, it's true. It's true. A kid of mine, I'm not gonna get into it because I don't want to argue. Yes, there are plenty of schools out there that are D1 that aren't Power 5. Agree. A lot of kids who played for me went Division I that's not Power 5, and you know what? They get an education. I got kids playing at Southern, and I see them every day. Or not every day, and I see them and I show them love, and they at Southern, and I let them know if you need anything, I'm here on campus. I'm in HHS. Come down to my room, come visit me. Right? I talk to their moms. You need me to run something up there? Drop it off to me. I'll bring it to the kid. It's all love. Trust me, I paying for every college degree I got, all 4, and trust me, they're expensive. I don't care if your sport gets you 30% off. 30% of $100,000 is $30,000. I don't know many kids that's getting $30,000 today. So it's ultimately about education, because the amount of kids, let's say college D1, the amount of kids going bigger to that's going to larger name colleges in Connecticut, let's take Connecticut, is growing. It's growing. We're seeing it more and more. Now, if the offers are real or not, I don't know, but we're seeing it more and more. So I'm inspired by kids getting offers, by kids going to bigger name colleges, bigger prep schools. I'm inspired as a man, seeing these young athletes get opportunities that I have never gotten. I love it. I'm supportive of it. There's nothing I can do to help, but if there was, I know, right? However,
I've been a part.
Hold on. I'm inspired by that. However, for the ones that's not going there, I still want them to step behind that 3, shoot the shot, even if it's an air ball. Go ahead. I'm okay with it.
Listen, I've been a part of a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? I've been a part, especially in this spectrum that we're in, youth football. This All-Star game, honestly, is probably the most impactful thing I've ever been a part of. What has come out of it? Like, now, a lot of people weren't here since the beginning. They weren't here to see when we laid out the skeleton. You know what I'm saying?
Not true.
I know what we've done has truly made a difference, and people are scared of it, and that's cool. But the kids that do partake in it, just know it could be you. I mean, it could be. It just
and to me, that's what I meant by the jump shot, right? Like, take your jump shot. And I said that to the coach. Remember, I said to the coach, dude, why wouldn't you allow your kids to take the jump shot? And he was like, well, what if they miss? Then they miss. But if they never shoot the shot, and what did I do? My favorite quote, right? I hit him. I said, you know.
Oh, you said it.
I said,
this dude been saying this for 20 years. I've been listening to this quote for 20 years. You guys heard it 1,000 times on the show. Go ahead, say it. Because I ain't scared to flag. Jigger, I hate Jigger. Go ahead, say it.
I said there my favorite quote. I said, dude, it's just like Jay asked. People said, Hov, how you get so fly? Because I wasn't too afraid to jump out the sky. I said, so if for all those kids that walk to the edge of the building and stand there, that never jump, you are telling them, don't jump, you're going to hit the ground. But how would they ever know if they could fly? When you see somebody take off and you see somebody over there take off, of course they're scared. You're telling them they're going to fall down. People ask Hov, how you get so fly? Because I wasn't too afraid to jump out the skies. A lot of people at the ledge, dog, looking down, and their heart pounding. I'ma fall. Take your shot. If you fall, you dust yourself off. You get up. It's all right. You break a big toe. It'll be okay. In life, Tito, you and I have fell many a times. Gotta jump, though. If you don't, you're going to sit there wondering what could have been. That's my point. Read some comments. Every parent that has a child in sports should only worry about free education, because if you think NFL, NBA, MLB, you just living the dream through your child. Let's hope our future get through education first. If you happen to go pro, it's a blessing. Jaden Sheridan, 5'9", went to Mammoth FCF school, led the nation in rushing, got an invite to the combine, went undrafted, and is now playing for the Carolina. That young man, I don't know who he is, but shout out to him nonetheless. It's definitely making me a better coach. I love it. These kids need to work on being the best them they can be, but they also need to understand the big picture, and the primary goal is education. Number one, the next level. Number two, if that's what they want. OFT, they handle number one, they can shoot their shot for number two and end all right.
End up all right if they miss.
Oh,
Meaning
and end up all right.
education.
Oh, right. Exactly.
Education first. Remember,
Shoot the
education
shot,
first.
and if you don't, you got a career to fall back on.
Right,
Basically, what you're saying, right?
But that's
You
why I
can
said
shoot
when
the
you
shot.
said the kid that wound up at Penn, the kid that wound up at Penn,
That was hypothetical.
maybe.
It was no kid I
But
know
what
that
I'm
wound
saying
up.
is, hypothetically, he may wind up in a better predicament than the kid that went to Penn State because of the network that goes along with going to Penn. See,
Yeah, that's an Ivy
people
League
understand
school,
why I
right?
start talking that shit. Right.
That's
They
Ivy
won't
League.
start. They won't start understanding when I'm talking that shit. When you go to those schools, you're paying for the network. You're not paying for the school. You get or the athletics. You're paying for the fucking network. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Hey, Sean, exactly what I tell people. Keep shooting. I listen, shoot, damn it. I tell people all the time, shooters get in the NBA. Good defensive people, they become good college players. We took that, my back. We took that jump shot with Karan in the 8th grade. Big time schools were so impressed on his registration card said Hartford, Connecticut, as if it was impossible. They don't know us in Connecticut. We took a chance and we've been moving forward every since. Gotta take the shot. People, you have to take the shot. Without the shot, you can't make it. Gotta put the shot up in the air. Salute, fellas. Salute to you, Mr. Bowman. Larry said, I had a player play in the All-Star game 2 years ago. He only had 2 receptions in an all game, but his size caught the prep school's attention. Long story short, he's at prep now. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. He shot the shot. Penn State is a Big Ten school. Yes, it is.
No, and I'm not one to take. All I know is, like I said, I stand by this All-Star game because I know what really has happened. And I've been a part of a lot of things that people don't understand. For anybody to hate on this is just crazy because you're hurting our old children. And it's not the suburbs hating on us, if you want me to keep it real. It's our old people. It's just straight up truth. It's our old people, like everything else me and you have ever done. It's cats that we done put on extended olive branches to who are making life impossible for us. That's just the truth. You know what I'm saying?
And we be mindful that there's nothing wrong with skills, trades, plumbers, labors, carpentry. We're not in here saying one is better than the other. That's not what we're talking about. But
there ain't nothing wrong with going to get a trade.
Ain't nobody playing football to become a plumber. There's nobody using the football path to become an electrician. Most people are using football thinking they're going to the NFL, falling back hopefully on an education. That's all the point was. You know what I'm saying? I guess what I'm saying is obviously there's nothing wrong. Some of those first of all, you're a CEO, you can own your own business, and a lot of times you're making more money and setting your own schedule. They're better careers. My point is, when you're playing football, though, I've never heard somebody go, I'm playing football because I really want to get in this electric school, right? They're playing because they have the dream. And so that's why I keep talking about shooting my shot, and that's all I'm saying. Penn is a Ivy League. Yes, this is incredible thing, you guys, the podcast, I think. Shout out to you. Anyway, Tito, let before we keep going, let me give y'all a heads up on something.
Bro,
going down
this Saturday,
bro. I know. Going down this Saturday in the New England Youth Football Combine. If you're interested, I am about to copy this. Get your youth involved. You'll get a professional card. You're going to be timed. You're going to get all of this stuff. And it's by the top trainers in New England, y'all. The top trainers in New England will be here. You know what I'm saying?
All the big offensive linemen, please show up because I got something. I got something for all you guys to get a real gauge of where you're going. It's going to be skill specific to offensive linemen. Please, let's get the big guys out there. Because I know everybody here is combine and thinks just the skills. Everybody wants to get a 40 time. Let's get the big guys out there. Offensive line,
get your 40 time. You will get your 40 time, but it's professional.
Offensive line is specific because I guarantee you, the general is going to give you a tip or two that nobody else can give you. I'll put my life on it.
Again, you'll get your 40 time. It's not a stopwatch. It's a professional 40 time, right? We got Supreme. They're going to be there doing their thing. You're already quarterbacks. Look what we got. We got the quarterback dad, QB1. He'll be there doing this thing. Y'all know Craig Bryden's work. He's training college athletes. You already know, if y'all don't know Brandon Sierra, he deals with Elevation Academy. Tito introduced me to this young brother. He's been on a podcast before. He trains my daughter. He's an amazing, talented trainer and proven. Definitely.
His theory is proven.
The Big Man Academy will be there. Y'all know what they do. Tito just talked about Mud Dog and the things that he's going to be doing. Y'all already know what Mark and Supreme can do. It's open to all of New England. It's not open to only Connecticut. Any youth that want to come down, if your age is 12 to 14, you have to come to the morning session. That is 10 to 11:30. If you're 8 to 11, you're going to come to the afternoon session, which is 12 to 1:30. We're going to be grinding it out. Everybody's going to get a card. When you leave, you're going to have your scorch card. 40 time. You know, the card's going to get over to Coach Tito. He's going to give you notes. We're going to make sure that your kid leave with a report card of his skill set, right? And it's not by anybody internal. This is all external people that's gauging your child from a professional and a technical standpoint. It's unlike anything that has happened in New England. I just want to say that. Before we leave, Tito, I just want to say this. The bucket hats, the Connecticut Youth All-Star Game bucket hats are in. See it? We got white. We got red. They're in. See it? They're in. The shirts are in. This happened to be a
once again
shirt.
Yeah, once again, I didn't like
203 shirt.
I ain't like none of it at first, but now I'm thinking this might be the hottest theme yet. You know what I'm saying?
See? Every year I get scolded, and every year we get better. See this? Modern Warfare. Black Ops. See that? The A60 Black Ops versus the Modern Warfare. It's all going down. If you want a hat, you better Cash App it. They going fast. I ain't got that many left. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I got 20 hats left. All the pre-orders have taken the hats. I have 20 bucket hats left, Tito. 20. That's all. I ain't ordering no more. I sold a lot. I got 19. I got 19 then. I got 19 bucket hats left. If you want to order a bucket hat, there's a simple way that you can order a bucket hat. I've told y'all all the time. I'm about to put it up on the screen. Cash App. I'm going to give it to y'all. You ready? You want to order a bucket hat? This is how you order a bucket hat. You better Cash App your money. Listen, some of y'all has been ordering stuff and not saying nothing. Sending $25 saying, youth large. I don't know what you want. A youth large what? I don't know what you want. Do you want a 203 shirt, an A60 shirt? Some of y'all been saying bucket hats. Do you want white? Do you want red? Put in the notes exactly what you want. That's the best way to do it. All right? Telling y'all, Connecticut Youth All-Star Game is going down July 13th. It's going to be amazing. Next week, we're going to have two coaches on, talk to y'all live. Tito, this has been a great show. It's 9 minutes left. I'm going to let you finish it off, brother. What you got to tell the people?
Oh, nah, bro. If I tell you about the day I had today, we'll talk about it as soon as we click off. Like, shit been crazy since I got out of work, dog. But anyways, peace to the guys of the earth. See y'all next week. I'm glad I was able to get in because it wasn't looking like it a couple hours ago. But my cuz came over here and saved us, and we got through the night. See y'all next week. Well, see you at the combine, hopefully. See y'all at the combine.
See y'all at the combine. Come through. Come
check for the brothers. We good. If you don't know us,
go ahead, my bad.
If you don't know us, just run up on us like everybody else does. Just run up on us. We're cool with it. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, yo, T, thanks for engaging on the show, brother. Rodney wants to tell 2039U y'all in trouble after today's practice. I'm telling you. You're in trouble. Yo, listen, I had a great discussion with somebody today. We was talking about life and how at the ages we are now, this is my message of the day. A lot of us got away with a lot of things, and we're still here today to see it. I talk all the time. I got a cousin, with a double homicide. I had a brother that committed murder. He's in jail currently, not on that charge, but and Tito, it's a lot of people that been through exactly what you and I been through in life that's not here today because they didn't get the break that God gave you and I.
Right. Well,
it didn't work.
Some things. Listen.
You know what I'm saying? So my message of the day is this, fellas, to all you coaches out there that want to be super tough, that want to beef in the youth football world, be the guy who got away and got his life together. That's my message of the day. Be the guy who got away and got his life together. Trust me, you'll be much better for it. You get to go to the beach instead of sitting in jail. I talk to my cousin all the time. He say, "Yo, I just want to sit on your back porch and look at the pool." His desire is only that, right? That's his desire, right? And you know, Mace had a song that said, "I'm no killer, so don't make me one." Right? And there's a lot, and I say that to say, I said to this young dude, and we got 6 minutes, there's a lot of sleeping giants out here. Guys that have been through a lot of things in their life, that have decided, I got to pull all that down. I know what I've gotten away with. Thank you, Lord. And they're probably in the God and in churches on Sundays. A lot of OGs are. Don't wake those people up. Don't wake those people up. Let the damn lions sleep. Because you wake them up, can't turn it back down now. You can't turn it back down. And so, fellas, if you out there, try to, you know, everybody, man, try to find ways to kill all the BS you're not going through. That's my point. Be the guy who got away and got his life together. Question Phil and
just
Tito.
to build on what you said.
Go ahead.
Oh, my bad. I was about to build on what you just said. So my cousin today, my cousin's here, you know, little cousin, but he big cousin, you know what I'm saying? Little Korea. We call him Little Korea, right? He said something, because, you know, any day now my party gonna drop. I was like, yo, when that shit drop, I'm gonna throw the biggest party. He said, yo, you better think about that. Because you ain't want to go through all that to ruin it all in one day with the party. You get what I'm saying? Because you know how these parties could go out here. You know what I mean? And I thought about it. I say, yo, you know what? You're right. I'm going to call Phil. And we're going to Nordic Lodge. You know what I'm saying? It's me and you. You know what I'm saying? Well, I know shit can't go wrong. You know what I'm saying?
It's a safer bet. Because you don't have to prove you tough at this age no more. Like, you passed the age where you had to be in the streets and be tough. Now you can relax and say, yo, I made it past that mark. I got past the second session. I passed the test. God has let you pass the test. Don't freaking throw it back in God's face and, aha, you didn't get me. He'll get you. He'll get you, bro. I'm telling you, he'll get you. And we don't need that type, none of that type of energy around us. Data said we have aspirations. They had aspirations of prep in private school situations. It made them shoot their shot, and they didn't even use football as an avenue. All education. Maybe we need to do another show on how athletes.
No, but we also know. I mean, from the little I do know, we also know David is a sturdy brother. A lot of that has to do with the parents there. You know what I'm saying? David's a sturdy brother. So,
let me answer this question because he keep asking why not have an all-star game in the spring. A lot of players are usually that come up for the all-star game are usually playing spring football, or they have been in the past, and so it's too conflicting. So we try to come right after spring with the game. Now you ask for why the time difference, dude. You got to order 12 teams uniforms. It takes time to size hundreds of kids, order hundreds of uniforms, get all of this stuff together, get fields and refs.
A much bigger production.
It's a much bigger thing than just.
I'm gonna be honest.
This game starts planning right after the game happens. Go ahead.
I've even argued they even tried to do the combine. Like, you guys don't know what goes into this all-star game, with like everything that goes into it. They just don't understand.
That's the coaches. We got
I know we make it look easy. I know we make it look easy, but trust me, there's a lot that goes in. Even this combine I thought was a bit ambitious. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I've been arguing this with these guys for weeks already. Like, you know what's going on? I just finished the whole spring season. Now I'm coaching twice a week doing this, and now we're doing
No,
I get it. I'm built for it, though.
It was ambitious.
I love it. Make no mistake about it. I love it. I love it.
Right now, we got about
my man pushes me. Yeah, my man pushes me. I push my man. We always try to push the boundaries with this. And regardless of how you feel about it, just know the only people that have pushed this culture forward is me and this man right here. Because this thing was dead in the water, and we brought awareness to all of it. And now all you guys think you know what? Cut me off. Because this shit about to go all the way.
It's your boy PH the Press, Mr. Above 140. See you next Wednesday. Out.